कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को नयाति परां गतिं यत्पिबं सततं रामचरितामृतासागरम् अदृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम् कोष्पदीकृतवारासं मसखीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम् अंजनानंदनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीसमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् आमिषीकृतमार्ताण्डं गोष्पदीकृतसागरं तृणीकृतदशग्रीवम् आञ्जनेयं नमाम्यहम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोःसलिलसलीलं यशोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनेव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलानं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पौमाननन्दनम् यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र गतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि यः कर्णाञ्जलिसम्पुटैः हरः सम्यक् पिबत्यादरात् वाल्मीकिर्वदनारविन्दगलितं रामायणाख्यं मधुः जन्मव्याधिजराविपत्तिमरणैः अत्यन्तसोपद्रवं संसारसः विहाय गच्छति पुमान् विष्णोर्पदं शाश्वतम् तदुपगतसमाससन्धियोगं सममधुरोपनतार्धवाक्यबद्धं रघुवरचरितं मुनिप्रणीतं दशशिरसश्च वदं निशामयध्वं वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूतानां रामसागरगामिनि पुनातु भुवनं पुण्यात् रामायणं महानदी श्लोकसारसमाकीर्णं सर्गकल्लोलसङ्कुलं काण्डग्राह्यमहामीनं वन्दे रामायणार्णवम् वेदवेदे परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजं वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना वैदेही सहितं सुरुद्रमुतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचैति प्रपञ्चनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं वाक्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलं वामे भूमिसुता पुरश्च हनुमान् पाश्चात् सुमित्रासुतः शत्रुघ्नो भरतश्च पार्श्वदलयोः वायव्यादिकोणेषु च सुग्रीवश्च विभीषणश्च युवराट् तारासुतो जाम्बवान् मध्ये नीलसरोजकोमलरुचिं रामं भजे श्यामलम् माता रामो मत्पिता रामो भ्राता रामो मत्सखा राघवेशः सर्वस्वं मे रामचन्द्रो दयालु नान्यदेवं नैव जाने न जाने साकेते शरदिन्दुकुन्दधवले सौदे महामण्डपे पर्यस्ता अग्रधूपदीपललिते कर्पूरदीपोज्ज्वले सुग्रीवाङ्गदजाम्बवत् परिवृतं सौमित्रिणा सेवितं लीलामानुषविग्रहं रघुवरं रामं भजे श्यामलं मेघश्यामं महाबाहुं स्थिरसत्त्वं दृढव्रतं कदा द्राक्ष्यामहे रामं जगतः शोकनाशनं जयत्यतिबलो रामो लक्ष्मणश्च महाबलः राजा जयति सुग्रीवा राघवेण अभिपालितः दासोऽहं कौसलेन्द्रस्य रामस्य क्लिष्टकर्मणः हनुमान् शत्रुसैन्यानां निहन्तां मारुतात्मजः न रावणसहस्रं मे युद्धे प्रतिबलं भवेत् शिलाविस्तु प्रहर्तारपादपैश्च सहस्रशः अर्धयित्वां पुरीं लङ्काम् अभिवाद्यश्च मैथिलीं समृद्धार्दो गमिष्यामि शतां सर्वराक्षसां धर्मात्मा सत्यसन्धश्च रामो दासरिर्यदि पौरुषे च प्रतिद्वन्द्वः शरयेन जहि रावणीम् नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवगौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसंपदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् तपस्वाध्याय निरतां तपस्विनी वाग्विदाम्बरं नारद परिपुत्रच्च वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गवम् ओम रामाय नमः। Hare Krishna. So last week we have seen that Ravana has come out of Lanka and he waged war with Rama for 7 days. He set out on the 14th day of the dark fortnight of the moon, which is Krishna Paksha. A month is divided into Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. In the first fortnight, which is Shukla Paksha, the moon grows in size, bigger and bigger. And then it ends on the 15th day with Paurnami. Right? Pradama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Sashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dasami, Ekadasa, Dwadasa, Trayodasi, Chaturdasi, Panchami, Paurnami. And then again, the cycle continues, Pradama, Dvitiya, and that is Krishna Paksha, dark fortnight. The moon wanes now. So first it waxes, now it wanes, and then it becomes Amavasya. So the 15th day becomes Amavasya. So Ravana set out just before the day of Amavasya, which is the 14th day. Why I am telling this is so that you guys will have a count of how many days the war took place. So on the 14th day, Ravana set out from Lanka, and then he fought with Rama. And then all the Indra came. He sent his charioteer, Matali, with his chariot that had green horses, to go and assist Rama in waging the war against Ravana. And then Matali arrived, and Rama took Matali's chariot, and then he fought with Ravana. Rama-Ravana Yuddha was only comparable to Rama-Ravana Yuddha and nothing else. Just like the sky can be compared only with the sky, and the vastness of the ocean can be compared with the vastness of the ocean, similarly, the fight between Rama and Ravana, the battle between Rama and Ravana can only be compared with Rama and Ravana. Valmiki dedicates a chapter full of descriptions how they fought. Each arrow was intercepted with another arrow. No arrow missed its target. Like that, how many ever millions of missiles that Ravana hurled against Rama, Rama also intercepted all those arrows with equally powerful arrows. So the sky was filled with arrows, full of arrows. They weaved like a cloth, and it covered the entire sky like another sky, the arrows itself. And all the Vanaras and the demons stood still, watching the battle between Rama and Ravana. It was so magnificent that they stared at him. They were looking like paintings on the, both the armies on each side. The army behind Rama was still, and only Rama was in action. And whatever was behind him looked like a painting because it stood still. Similarly, on the other side, Ravana's side also, whatever stood behind him was like a painting. And then they both fought for a long time. And then Rama chopped off the head of Ravana. The head fell down, but another head grew immediately in its place. Then Rama took another missile, chopped off the head, but still it grew back again. Then he did it for 100 times like that. Still 100 heads came for Ravana, one after the other. Then Rama thought, how come this arrow that has killed Khara, Dushana, and 14,000 Asuras in Janasthana, and the arrow that killed Vali in a single unleashment, now is failing with respect to Ravana. The arrow that killed Kumbhakarna, Viradha, Kabandha, and the arrow that killed Vidyujjihva, Vidyunmali, Karaviraksha, Kalakarmuka, and all such demons, Nikumba, Kumbha, Atikaya, now has returned in vain. What is the reason? Like that, Rama started thinking about why the arrow was failing. At this time, Matali, the charioteer of Indra, suggested him, "O Rama, why are you delaying? Don't you know that Brahma had given you, the Vishwamitra had given you Brahmastra? You have the missile in your armory. You can take it and hurl it against the chest of that evil Ravana. It shall kill him." It is not Vibhishana who has suggested Rama to hit the Amrita Kalasa in his spot, in his stomach. That's not how Valmiki Ramayana is written. Matali says, take the arrow, Brahmastra, and then hurl it into the chest of Ravana. And then Rama took the sacred arrow, which was coated with the marrow of many demons and Rakshasas, and which was resplendent like the glory of the sun, and it was gilded with gold. He took out that arrow, whose face resembled a serpent. He took that serpentine sharp arrow, mounted it on the thread onto the bowstring of his bow, and then stretched it with irresistible force up to his head. And then Rama empowered the arrow with a sacred mantra. And then he unleashed the arrow against the chest of Ravana. The arrow rushed forward, and all the celestial demigods, Kinnaras, Kimpurshas, Yakshas, Nagas, Gandharvas, and the Vanaras, and of course the Rakshasas also witnessed the terrible sight of the vengeful force of that arrow. The arrow sped forward like a meteor. It sped forward towards the chest of Ravana, and within a blink of an eye, it penetrated into the chest of the Ravana, and then it emerged out of the body of Ravana, and then it touched the ground, and again it went back into the quiver of Ramachandra. that arrow along its way took the life of Ravana also, and it pierced the chest of Ravana, it cut the body of Ravana, and it went and touched the earth, and at the same time it took away the life of Ravana. Here whenever Valmiki mentions, he doesn't say that Ravana gave up his life. He never says that. It's the arrow that took his life. That means Ravana never gave anything. Rama took his life. And then the bow in the hands of Ravana slipped away. The sword and the other arrows in his hands slipped away. And then Ravana fell down from his chariot onto the ground and he died. And this is how Ravana was killed. And at this time, all the celestials, demigods, they showered flowers onto Rama. It fell on the chariot of Indra on which Rama was standing at that time. And they also did Devagandharva Nirghosha. That means they made many kinds of utterances like victory to Rama and so forth. And musical instruments were played in the heavenly skies. And there was music all over the place. And once Ravana was dead, Rama stood there. He came and he asked the welfare of Sugriva, Vibhishana and Hanuman and Angada. Valmiki doesn't mention Hanuman here, but Angada. He comes here and he satisfied the desire of Sugriva, Angada and Vibhishana. And now he stood amidst of all the warriors of the Vanaras. And they were all happy. They surrounded around Rama and then they shouted the cries of victory. And at this time the other demons trembled in fear because their lord is killed. The lord of their tribe is killed. So they were all shaking in fear. Now they all surrendered. Now Vibhishana comes forward and says, "My dear Rama, finally you have killed my wicked brother, because of whose sake your wife has been abducted. Now tell me what I should do." Then Rama asks him to proceed with the funeral rites. But at this time, the ladies from the Lanka, the widows of Ravana, all the wives came outside. They ran towards the body of Ravana and then they cried, they lamented loudly. When a group of ladies accumulate and then when they cry, you can imagine especially when their beloved is lost. So they started crying. And then they uttered, "Why have you not heard the kind advice of Vibhishana when he told you not to fight Rama? You should have heard his advice. When Rama built a bridge across the ocean, at least at that time you should have understood that he is Narayana. You did not listen to us. When Hanuman crossed the ocean, when he came," is it too loud? Or should we reduce it? It's okay. When Hanuman crossed the ocean and came to Lanka and destroyed the Rakshasas and your son Aksha, at least at that time you should have understood. Finally, you who have vanquished Indra and all other celestials, now you lay down on the ground like a dead body. And then they cried out. And then came Mandodari. Mandodari also cried. She said, "O my lord, I, who is the wife of the lord of the demons, daughter of the lord of the demons, who is Mayadanava, and I had a son Indrajit, who was the vanquisher of Indra, and I was feeling proud, but I never have I thought that I will obtain this widowhood. But today you left me as a widow." And she also cries out, saying that she repeats the same thing. That Rama, when I told you, we will have Abhishekam now, because he has arrived. So, and then we will continue with our Ramayana. Since Ravana is killed, we can continue with our Abhishekam and then we will do the Pattabhishekam.
ఇచ్చాను కదా.
లేదు అవి అది కాదు ఆయన చూసారు.
చూసాను. లేదు లేదు. అంటే కాపుడు కలిసిన కాపుడు కాపుడా
జస్ట్ ఇప్పుడే మీరు వచ్చింది వండర్ ఏడుస్తుంది.
నా కొత్త అవసరం
Water is here in the beginning. Bucket full of water.
నేను మళ్ళీ నేను చేస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు నా ఫోన్ గుళ్ళో నేను చేస్తాను. నేను కాల్ చేస్తాను ఇప్పుడే అన్ని కాల్ చేస్తాను.
లేదా అంతకాలం ముందు పెట్టుకో. తర్వాత కొత్త బట్టలు
मध्य में लगी सी गेटिंग
scholar, so whatever he does is really up to the whatever is mentioned in the tradition. So please stay back and witness the Abhishekam, and he will speak also. So enjoy his wisdom and knowledge.